Hello, it's good to see you. How are you? Apologies for my unexplained leave of absence. I just needed some time to deal with some stuff and some things. But I am now going to be working hard to get back to a regular schedule of uploads. What I wanted to talk about with you today is a particularly controversial idea. There are a lot of divided opinions on the subject, and I'm not here to agree or disagree with either side. I'm here to give my own opinion on it because it's just been something that's been on my mind quite a bit. You're here, you've clicked on the video, so you've obviously read the title of the video, and that is self-diagnosing. Is self-diagnosing valid? Seeing a professional can sometimes be tricky because of time, finances, resources, or supply, and also because of stigma. It takes time to get a professional diagnosis. It takes time to establish a relationship with a professional to the point where you feel like you can trust them and talk to them about the things that are going on inside your mind. It can take a lot of money to do this, and not everybody is able to fund getting a diagnosis. A lot of people also have problems with trying to find someone that's available. It's getting harder and harder to find professionals who have open books for you to be able to see and establish a relationship and get a professional diagnosis from. And it takes a lot of courage to admit that something might not be quite right with your brain. It can also be met with a lot of criticism. You might feel that you fit within a particular disorder and you want to get help for it, but when you share this idea with somebody close to you, they will dismiss it and say, no, you don't have that. There are a lot of people out there that like to look at somebody and their life and go, I don't think they have that disorder. I think that they have something else, or they're just faking for attention. There is also the chance that you might be misdiagnosed when you do see a professional. I myself was misdiagnosed twice as a youth. I was diagnosed first with borderline personality disorder, and then I was diagnosed with severe depression. I was in my 30s before I finally received my correct diagnoses. So if we don't have the time, we don't have the money, we can't find someone who will take us as a client, and we're worried what our friends, our family, our co-workers, our peers will think, and we're also worried that we might not get it right. These are lots of factors that do really contribute to the idea that self-diagnosing is valid. It's free to do it because we have the internet. It's easy to do because we can talk to so many people to determine whether we have similar behaviors to them. It's quick because we can do it straight away. We could hop on the internet tonight and type in anxiety test for depression, self-test for personality disorder. But there are issues with this. We as humans are very open to suggestion. There are lots of behaviors that we might do that we don't really think too much of as being abnormal, but then someone might come along and say to us, oh, well, did you know that that behavior that you do there is actually linked to a particular disorder? And we'll go, oh, I didn't know that. There's a lot of misinformation out there on the internet that can lead us to the conclusion that we have a particular disorder. Another problem that can arise with self-diagnosing is the potential to also get it wrong. We are very biased. We will find ways of finding information that support our theory, and we will ignore other information that contradicts this. It's difficult to see our own behaviors from a third-person perspective. We also haven't been trained in the area to be able to spot particular behaviors. Many disorders have many different overlapping behaviors. It can probably feel really overwhelming to try to figure out, well, I think I might have this particular disorder. Can I self-diagnose this disorder? And is it valid? In my opinion, all disorders within the current edition of the DSM, which at this point in time is the DSM-5, all of them are complex. And human behavior is very complex. Humans will often display behaviors that seem abnormal. We all get very stressed out at times and get irritable and yell. Sometimes we'll feel so overwhelmed by the things happening around us that we will spend the day in bed hiding from everybody. We might have a particular way of doing doing things, or we might have a particular order in which we line things up or rearrange things, fold clothes in a particular way, arrange the dishes in our cupboard, the pencils on our desk. We have very particular routines and things that we like to do that make things easier for us. That doesn't mean that you have a psychological disorder if you like to arrange your bookshelf in a particular way. Because psychological disorders are so complex, it's fine to feel that you identify with one. It's totally fine that you do that. It is valid to feel that you might be somebody who has a psychological disorder. That's fine. But this means that your journey has really only just begun. You can absolutely research, talk to people, do as many tests on the internet that you can find. That's totally okay. Absolutely okay. But there's going to come a point in your life where using the resources that are currently available is just not going to be enough. There are disorders that need to be treated with medications, with therapy. There are lots of different therapies out there that are designed to help people manage their disorder. There are third-party organizations out there that are specifically designed to help people who have a disability or disorder. So there is going to be a point within your life where the internet's just not going to be enough. You will need to move out of that zone of thinking, out of that stage of your mental health journey, and reach out to get a professional diagnosis and treatment for your disorder. So is self-diagnosing valid? I feel that it really has to be treated as the beginning stages of one's mental health journey. As you progress along the timeline of realizing you might have a particular psychological disorder, learning about the disorder, identifying with the disorder, talking to other people with the disorder, you will come to a point where you realize you will need to reach out and get a professional diagnosis, because then you will be able to access the things that you need to make your diagnosis easier to manage. Like, ultimately, these things are out there to help you, not to hinder you. So that's my opinion on self-diagnosis. Whether you agree with it or you disagree with it, that's totally okay, because you are entitled to your opinion too. Let me know in the comments below what you think, but please be respectful of each other. I always encourage healthy discussion, but I do not encourage arguing. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you have any topics that you would like me to talk about, leave them down in the comments below, or you can post them to my social media accounts. I have a few social media accounts. Here they are. Check them out. Thanks for hanging around and bearing with me while I deal with my stuff and things. I really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you are already a returning subscriber and you have liked and shared my video, well, heck, you're awesome. You don't need to do anything else. Sit back and relax, friend. Thank you for being here with me today. As always, my name is Eden. I have lots of ideas, and I will see you in the next video to talk about another one.